Mrs. Carol Laurenti, and to my dear classmates, have a pleasant morning to all of you. My report is the continuation of Mama Richu about basic education curriculum. Classmates, the salient features of basic education curriculum. There are 6 salient features. The journey of a lifetime starts with the turning of a page. Yes, we are talking here about reading. The first salient features is that it gives greater emphasis on helping every learner become a successful reader. Reading is one way the mind grows in its ability. Teaching young children to read helps them develop their language skills. It also helps them learn to listen. Reading is important because it develops the thought and mind, gives endless knowledge and lessons while keeping minds active. This is the reason why reading tests are always conducted in schools. Actually, in our district, we conducted pre-reading tests and post-reading tests in a school year. It plays an important part in building a good self-image. It is a function that is necessary in today's society. As a teacher, it is very important for us to inculcate the love in reading to our pupils. Number 2, none of us is as smart as all of us. This quote is connected to the second feature, which is emphasis on collaborative and interactive learning approaches. Collaborative learning is an educational approach to teaching and learning that involves a group of students working together, hand in hand to solve a problem, complete a task, or create a product. The learning flourishes in social environment where conversation between learners take place. They learn more with friends and classmates. The impact of collaborative approaches on learning is consistently positive. Collaborative learning makes students with different backgrounds, race, or upbringing to work together. They are able to hear different opinions and learn more about different cultures. This method is very ideal for children that have difficulties in social settings. Number 3, no problem can be solved from the same level of consciousness that created it. This is in connection to emphasis on the use of integrative learning approaches. The next feature is about integrative learning. Integrative learning is an approach where the learner brings together prior knowledge and experiences to support the new knowledge and the new experiences. By doing this, learners draw on their skills and apply them to new experiences at a more complex level. Integrated teaching and learning processes enable children to acquire and use basic skills in all the content areas and to develop positive attitudes for continued successful learning throughout. Integration acknowledges and builds on the relationship which exists among all things. Values are like fingerprints. Nobody's are the same, but you leave them all over everything you do. Yes, the next feature is very important for me. This is about values. The next feature is teaching values in all learning areas. And everything we do and everywhere we go, values is very important. That's why we have to teach the children the good values. The 3 types of values students should explore are character values, work values, personal values. Children's values are important because it helps them to grow and develop. It helped them to create the future they want to experience. Every individual is involved in making hundreds of decisions every day. Values guides their thoughts, their words, their action. Next feature is connected with this quote. I wish to assure everyone that vindictiveness is not in my system, but we must have the courage to fight for what we believe in, undeterred by the fear of failing or losing. Indeed, courage knows no limits, cowardice does. The only person you are destined to become is the person you decide to be. This is in connection to development of self-reliant and patriotic citizens. The fifth feature of basic education curriculum. Self-reliance becomes a little at a time. We learn by our experiences just our children do, but we should be encouraged by their progress and by our faith in the Lord. For he said, be of good cheer, for I will lead you along. Self-reliance, such as learning to tie one's own shoes, gives children a sense of pride and accomplishment. Self-reliance is the ability to depend on yourself, to get things done, and to meet our own needs. An example of self-reliance is growing your own food, which is very usable in our present situation we are in. On the other hand, patriotism or national pride is the feeling of love, devotion, and sense of attachment to a homeland, an alliance with other citizens who share the same sentiment. This attachment can be a combination of many different feelings relating to one's own homeland, including ethnic, culture, political, or historical aspects. Patriotism brings people together. Last but not the least feature is connected with this quote. If there was one life skill everyone on the planet needed, it was the ability to think with critical objectivity. The last feature is the development of creative and critical thinking skills. Creative thinking is a way of looking at problems or situation from a fresh perspective that suggests personal solutions. Creative thinking can be stimulated both by a free process such as brainstorming and by a structured process such as lateral thinking. Creative people themselves won't know how creative they are. It is for the others to discover and utilize. The skills that we need in order to be able to think critically are varied and include observation analysis, interpretation, reflection, evaluation, inference, explanation, problem solving, and decision making. Thinking clearly and systematically can improve the way we express our ideas. Development of creative and critical thinking skills is the last salient features of basic education curriculum. That's all about the salient feature of basic education curriculum. The next reporter will be Ma'am Almera Mandras. Thank you and good morning.